my guide died, I was left alone in the middle of the Amazon. No GPS, no map, only 2 days' worth of food. And around me stretched nothing but 6 million square kilometers of green hell. Hello everyone. Today I'm going to tell you a real survival story that happened to me. My name is Dr. Michael Torres. I'm 34 years old and I'm a botany professor in California. I've been doing research in the Amazon rainforest for 12 years, but that week everything went wrong and I almost got lost forever in the depths of the Amazon. This story shows how dangerous the world's wildest ecosystem can be and how to survive in the Amazon forest. Now I'm going to share those terrifying 7 days with you in every detail, because this information might save your life one day. I did my PhD at UC Berkeley in California. I specialize in tropical plant species and research new medicinal sources. The Amazon rainforest contains 50% of the world's botanical diversity. For me, it's like a treasure chest. I've been coming to the Amazon regularly for 12 years. I usually work in Peru, Brazil, Ecuador regions, with local guides on safe routes. But I'm always careful and prepared. The Amazon is an unforgiving place. Everything started 3 weeks ago. In March, I set out to search for new plant species in an unexplored area in Peru's Loreto region. I was planning a 2-week expedition with a local guide named Carlos. Carlos was 45 years old, an experienced man who had been guiding in the Amazon for 25 years. I knew him from Iquitos City and trusted him. He knew these regions like the back of his hand. I flew from Lima to Iquitos. From there, we started our journey with a small boat toward one of the tributaries of the Ucayali River. Our destination was a remote area, not even properly marked on maps. I had carefully prepared my equipment: water purification tablets, high-energy food, first aid kit, tent, sleeping bag, machete, GPS device, satellite phone, botanical collection kits, and of course, strong insect repellent. Let me give you the first important lesson here. Insect protection is vital in the Amazon. Mosquitoes, ticks, flies don't just bother you. They carry deadly diseases. Malaria, yellow fever, dengue. The first 4 days were magnificent. While advancing on the river by boat, we saw magnificent views. Toucan birds, monkeys, caimans. We were observing the unique life of the Amazon. Carlos showed me very special places: medicinal plants used by local tribes, rare orchids species, gigantic cecropia trees. I was collecting wonderful samples for my research. On the morning of the 5th day, disaster struck. I noticed that Carlos was sick. He had fever all night and was vomiting. It was probably malaria, but it had progressed very quickly. I tried to call for help with the satellite phone, but the tree canopy was too dense. We couldn't get a signal. Carlos was getting worse and worse. Let me give you the second critical lesson here. Medical emergencies in the Amazon are very dangerous. If you get sick, the nearest hospital can be hundreds of kilometers away. On the afternoon of the 6th day, we lost Carlos. He died from malaria and dehydration. At that moment, I was left alone in the middle of the Amazon, at least 200 kilometers from civilization. After getting over the first shock, I assessed the situation. I had my GPS device, but the battery was at 40%. The satellite phone wasn't working. My food would last for 2 days. I could get water from the river, but purification was necessary. I buried Carlos's body by the river. Decomposition happens very quickly in the Amazon and attracts predators. Then I made my survival plan. Plan A. I would try to go downstream along the river to reach the main waterway. Plan B. I would try to return to the last known coordinates on my GPS. Plan C. I would walk until I found a place with signal. The most logical was to follow the river. In the Amazon, follow the river is the basic survival rule. Rivers eventually lead to larger rivers, and those lead to settlements. Let me give you the third vital lesson here. If you get lost in the Amazon, follow the river. Going randomly into the forest is suicide. On the morning of the 7th day, I started walking. Progressing along the river wasn't easy. Thick vegetation, slippery rocks, constant mud. But there was no alternative. On the first day, I advanced 8 kilometers. In the evening, I made a simple shelter. Using palm leaves and branches, I created a platform elevated from the ground. Ground level is very dangerous in the Amazon. At night, I heard jungle sounds. Jaguar roars, monkey calls, insect buzzing. Amazon nights never go quiet. I made a fire both for protection and morale. I had solved the water problem. I was purifying river water with purification tablets. But the food problem had started. My energy bars were running out. Let me give you the fourth critical lesson here. You can find edible plants in the Amazon, but expertise is required. Wrong plants kill. Thanks to my botanical knowledge, I could identify safe plants. Brazil nuts, wild bananas resembling plantains, some palm fruits. But these weren't very caloric. The second day was harder. The terrain became more difficult. The river became more winding. My GPS dropped to 20%. I only turned it on at critical moments. In the afternoon, I experienced real danger for the first time. I encountered a caiman. 3 meters long, sunbathing by the river. When it saw me, it went into the water but didn't follow me. Let me give you the fifth vital lesson here. Wildlife encounters are inevitable in the Amazon. Stay calm. Don't make sudden movements. Don't make eye contact. The third day was even more challenging. My food problem became serious. Despite my botanical knowledge, edible plants were limited. I needed protein sources. That's when I experienced the dark side of survival. I started eating insects, termites, certain larvae, grasshoppers. Insects are actually an excellent protein source, but psychologically difficult. On the 4th day, the mental challenge increased. Constantly the same green scenery, no sense of progress, isolation at extreme level. Hallucinations began. Sometimes I heard voices. My GPS completely died. Now I could only follow the river. I had my compass, but solar navigation was impossible under the thick canopy. That night I had a jaguar encounter. It was circling around my fire, eyes reflecting in the firelight. It was there for 2 hours. I held my machete in my hand, but it didn't attack. On the 5th day, my physical condition began to deteriorate. weight loss, muscle weakness, dehydration symptoms. Amazon humidity causes constant sweating, serious electrolyte loss. That day I discovered a small tributary, shallower, clearer water. I thought maybe I could catch fish. I tried primitive fishing. I attempted spear fishing with a sharp stick. Unsuccessful. But while going along that tributary, I saw smoke in the distance. Human settlement, or at least human activity. With my last energy, I ran in that direction. On the evening of the 6th day, a miracle happened. I found a small native village. 15 to 20 indigenous people lived there, from the Shipibo tribe. When they saw me, they were surprised. I was in very bad condition. Dirty, skinny, exhausted. The village elder knew English. "American doctor." "I got lost in the Amazon," I said. The women in the village gave me food, clean water, medicinal plants. They applied traditional healing methods. The elder said, "The river brought you here. Amazon spirits protected you." I recovered in the village for 2 days. Then they took me to Iquitos by motorboat. It was a 6-hour journey. In Iquitos, I had a medical checkup. I had lost 8 kilos, had severe dehydration and malnutrition, but no permanent damage. I told Carlos's family about the situation. It was very sad, but these risks always exist in the Amazon. The techniques I shared with you kept me alive. Following the river, the golden rule of survival in the Amazon. Rivers lead to settlements, edible plant knowledge. Botanical knowledge saves lives, but don't take risks. Don't eat what you don't know. Protein sources. Insects are disgusting, but excellent protein. In survival situations, put pride aside. Shelter building. Build elevated shelter from ground level. Protect from insects, snakes, moisture. Water purification. Always purify river water. Waterborne diseases are common in the Amazon. Wildlife respect. Encounters with animals are inevitable. Don't panic. Don't show territorial behavior. This experience taught me the Amazon is the world's most complex ecosystem. Beautiful but unforgiving. 1 minute paradise, the next minute deadly trap. Most importantly, respect the Amazon. Local guides are invaluable. Technology can fail, but local knowledge is eternal. Thank you so much for listening to me. If this story taught you something, please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. You can share your jungle experiences in the comments. See you in the next video with a new survival story. Take care of yourselves.